Death Valley, Racetrack Playa. A single rock sits at the end of a trail nearly 600 feet long, carved straight through cracked desert mud. Nobody pushed it, nobody dragged it, and somehow this rock moved itself. Dozens of rocks out here have done the same thing, some cutting slow curves, some making sharp right-angle turns for over a century. Here's the part that should stop you. Since the first written account of this place in 1915, not one person has ever seen a single one of these rocks move. Not a park ranger, not a geologist camped out here for years. Nobody. So this isn't really a story about why the rocks move. It's a story about why, for 99 years, nobody could catch them doing it. Welcome to the Odd Hypothesis, the strangest questions and the real science behind them. The sailing stones of Death Valley became a global curiosity, a magnet for theories both brilliant and completely unhinged, and, as you're about to see, a lesson in exactly how patient real science sometimes has to be. Racetrack Playa sits in a remote corner of Death Valley National Park. A dry lakebed nearly 3 miles long, its surface baked into a mosaic of hexagonal mud tiles. Dark dolomite and syenite boulders, some weighing several hundred pounds, litter one end, fallen long ago from the cliffs above, and behind many of them, a trail. Some run arrow straight for hundreds of feet, others curve, loop, even double back on themselves, as if the same rock changed its mind halfway across the lakebed. Standing on the playa, it looks less like ordinary geology and more like evidence that something with a mind of its own passed through in the night. Whatever left these tracks, it left no footprints, no tire marks, no rope burns in the mud. Just the trail and the rock and a very long silence where an explanation should be. For decades, the obvious suspect was wind. Death Valley can produce brutal gusts, and a storm strong enough, the thinking went, could simply shove a boulder across slick mud. So researchers calculated the wind speed it would actually take to move the heaviest stones by friction alone. The number came out absurd. Gusts strong enough to flatten a building. Death Valley has never recorded anything close. The wind theory wasn't wrong about the wind existing. It was wrong about needing the wind to do all the work by itself. So theories kept multiplying. Some proposed magnetic fields tugging at iron inside the rock. Others pointed to algae-slicked mud so frictionless that even a gentle push could send a boulder gliding. Others quietly suspected something simpler: people, tourists, or locals sneaking out at night with ropes and trucks running a decades-long prank. A few scientists floated something closer to the truth: thin sheets of ice forming on rare freezing nights that might carry the rocks like tiny rafts. Every one of these ideas was clever. Every one of them was also, at this point, pure guesswork. Nobody had watched a rock move, so nobody could actually rule anything in or out. In 1968, Caltech geologist Bob Sharp decided to stop guessing and start testing. With colleague Dwight Carey, he numbered 30 rocks and tracked their positions for years. To kill the prank theory outright, they built a simple corral fence around some of the stones. If a rock inside that fence still moved, no human hand could have carried it there. The rocks moved anyway. The prank theory was dead. So largely was the magnetism idea, once instruments turned up, nothing unusual in the stones themselves. Sharp had just ruled out 2 serious guesses through sheer patient legwork, but he still hadn't seen a single rock actually go. Sharp kept at it for 7 years, 7 winters, camped near a lakebed in the middle of nowhere, watching for the one event everybody wanted to witness. It never happened on cue. Rocks that had clearly moved between visits never moved while anyone was actually looking. That gap between "we know this happens" and "we have never once seen it happen" is the strangest part of this whole story to me. If it's landing the same way for you, that's worth a like before we get to how they finally caught it, because the real answer took another 4 decades to arrive. In December 2013, a small team led by paleobiologist Richard Norris and his cousin, engineer Jim Norris, tried something almost anticlimactic. They stopped theorizing entirely. They fitted rocks with their own GPS units, set up time-lapse cameras across the playa, and installed a weather station to track ice, wind, and temperature in real time, with planetary scientist Ralph Lauren helping design the instruments. Then, the team did the hardest thing in science: nothing. They simply waited for winter and let the desert make the next move. And then, on a cold morning, it finally happened. On camera. Overnight rain and snowmelt had pooled into a shallow pond across the playa, just a few inches deep. Freezing temperatures skinned that pond with a thin sheet of ice, barely thick enough to trust your own weight. As the sun rose, the ice cracked into huge floating panes, drifting loose across the water like broken window panes. A light breeze, nothing dramatic, nothing a person standing there would even call windy, caught those panes and pushed them forward. Wherever a submerged rock sat beneath one, the ice shoved the rock along with it, dragging it across the softened mud at roughly a few centimeters a minute, slow enough that a bystander standing right there could miss it entirely, fast enough over hours to carve a trail 600 feet long. No prank, no magnetism, no hurricane, just water, cold, sunrise, and time. 4 ordinary things arranged in one very particular order. Notice what actually solved this. Not a sharper theory, not a smarter guess about magnetism, or wind speed, or hidden pranksters. The mystery fell the moment 2 researchers stopped trying to outthink the desert, pointed a camera at it instead, and had the patience to wait through one more freezing winter. 99 years of brilliant wrong answers undone by one very unglamorous habit: watching and recording long enough for the truth to happen on its own terms. If you like stories where the real twist is how science actually works, subscribing means you won't miss the next one. The sailing stones were never a mystery of cleverness. They were a mystery of patience. For 99 years, the answer was sitting right there in plain daylight. It just needed somebody willing to keep a camera running long after everyone else had gone home. Maybe that's the real odd hypothesis. The truth doesn't always reward the smartest guess. Sometimes it only rewards whoever is still watching when it finally happens. The desert never hid the answer from anyone. It just waited 99 years for someone patient enough to press record. This has been The Odd Hypothesis. If you want more mysteries that science solved through patience instead of genius, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.